Food markets only.
Meet Susie Smart, she is so bright. On her blackboard you can write. She has a desk, she has a seat. What's your name, my dolly sweet?
My name is Susie Smart.
She can talk!
She can talk, but can she add?
2 plus 2 is 4. Cat, C-A-T.
You can spell!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how
You recite!
Press the button, she says a dozen things, complete with desk, blackboard, and seat. Susie Smart, sold at food markets only.
What's this stuff? Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. Did you try it? I'm not gonna try it. You try it. I'm not gonna try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
This is absolutely gross. That boy is a P-I-G pig.
Penny, Penny, Penny.
Good morning, cats and kittens, pups and pooches. It's Susie Q96. Surprise, surprise, surprise. There's someone live, and it's me. Yep, I'm alive, I'm alive. So good morning, everybody. I decided since I was up, I need to finish going through this box of pennies. So we shall do that. I opened a couple when I wasn't on streaming or recording. I opened a couple rolls, and I did come up with this 1941 Weak Eye. So haven't really looked at it yet, but World War II era coin. So right now we have from this box, which we're not even quite halfway done with yet. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Wheaties. We got a 1968 S. We got a couple of Lincoln Life Series coins, and then just some that are kind of interesting. The 74 is pretty shinola. And why did I keep this? Oh, the 60. I need to check my album. And here's another one that's just Glamorama. Just some miscellaneous. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And actually there are 8 and 1 Canadian, because those were given away in a roll. So, and I just have them written down somewhere on a card that I can't find because it's 7:30 in the morning. So, well, we'll see what's happening here in some rolls and chit chat a little bit. If you came over thinking I'm gonna discuss any incident or anything, that's not happening. So, well, yeah, actually, we are going to discuss an incident. Yesterday, I was having a nap, which I needed really badly, when my phone rang, and it was my darling brother wanting to know if there was a package at my door. Hello, Mike. Yeah, anyway, my brother wanted to know if there was a package at my door, and I said, I don't know, I've been asleep. So I went and opened my door, and there was this package out there, and I tried to pick it up, and it was pretty heavy, and it didn't say anything on the box of what it was. And any of you that have been in any of my recent streams know I've been having issues with my computer. Well, my brother bought me a new pewter. He bought me a new pewter that's got way, way more get up and go than my refurbished Dell that I got back in 2014. It's got more memory and more RAM-a-jam, and fancy graphics card and all the groovy things, which it's going to take me a while to get all my stuff moved over to it, but what a wonderful thing. It's going to make things a lot better for the channel, and I do a lot of those medical teleconference things where I have to get on Zoom or things like that to talk to my doctors, and they always seem to lock up and just, So anyway, it's got the fancy 1 terabyte hard drive. Anyway, I got a new computer, new keyboard, new mousey. So I've been complaining about my keyboard too. So yeah, my stuff is just worn out. So my brother generously purchased me another one. He said my brother has like this man cave that's unbelievable. My brother's a computer whiz dude, and he said he has 2 of these computers that he runs different things on, and it's the same brand that I already have, so I'm familiar with all of their tech support and online and everything. So it's pretty groovy deal. I gotta find my penny cheat sheet. I haven't done pennies. Well, I have. I don't know what I do with things around here. I don't know where I put my penny cheat sheet. So I'm only gonna halfway search these pennies, I guess. Try to just do it off my memory as to what I'm looking for, because it's too early in the morning for me to be hunting around looking for it. I need to finish these pennies this weekend because I want to get them rolled up with some other change I have lying around, and get them back to La Bank. Oh, goodness. And we are having some pretty serious weather through here. There's all kinds of high wind advisories and stuff like that where they're telling us we may have power outages later on in the day. So I thought this would be a good time to knock some of this out. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. 69D for the copper hopper. Oh, these couple extra 72s. I was looking for 72s for somebody that needed one. Good morning, Looterade. I was watching you last night for a little bit. I was having some problems with my eyes last night. Of course, I always have problems with my eye, but anyway, I can't go detecting today because it's been raining most of yesterday, and it's still raining this morning. And then it's supposed to quit for just a couple hours. And then when the temperature is nice, which is, it's supposed to be in the 70s, which would be ideal, except we're going to have a big fat windstorm where the winds are anywhere from 25 to 40 miles an hour. And they have warned us that there will be falling branches and stuff of that nature. So that kind of killed my plan to go detect this weekend, at least for today. I might get in some maybe tomorrow afternoon. I have an area that I have started, but I only lasted about 20 minutes because the wind was so strong that day it actually blew me over. Knocked me on my little butt. And I kind of laid there for a second going, okay, am I going to be able to get back up from this? Most of the time I get down on the ground like that, I look like a cockroach flipped over on its back, flailing around trying to get up. But I was able to get right back up. It means this self-designed physical therapy is working better than the PT that was being provided by the professionals. I found this thing online, and most of the exercises you do sitting in a chair. And each day it has a different one, and then you cycle back around. You go through the 30, I think there's 30 of them, and then you start over. So each day you're working a small set of muscles, and you're not overdoing it. And it seems to be helping because I was able to get right back up. But yeah, I don't really need to be falling down, so especially in public. So I think I'm gonna just skip trying to detect with the wind blowing that hard. We'll see what transpires. This is the tail end of that horrible storm that went through Arkansas yesterday and hit those towns with more tornadoes. Those poor folks are getting slammed. And that's just, oh my gosh. There's a lady that I watched that lives in Mississippi, near the Mississippi Arkansas border, and her poor little town is just decimated. I've got to get a hold of one of my cousins a little bit later on because she lives in Arkansas, and I saw on the weather that some of those storms were pretty close to where her farm is. So I'm gonna have to check on my cousin Mary. I was hoping her brother would show up in here. He collects Wheaties. I keep trying to get him to come on in the channel here and hang out with the Wheatie peoples. So, I got to turn my Nightbot on because I have some couple of prizes that were left over from when we had the medical money auction the other night, and I want to give something away in a little bit. So. And when I get done with this, I'm gonna run a bunch of diagnostics on this computer. I want to make sure there's no viruses or anything like that hanging out on this one. I still can't believe my brother bought me a new computer. Well, it's not new. Oh, Florida metal detecting, muscle shell, cool beans. I got peoples. Yeah, my brother he is very generous when he feels you need something. If it's just some frivolous thing that, like if I was saying, oh, I really like that dress, I want that dress, I'm not going to get that from my brother. But he does come on this channel periodically, and he used to detect. Good morning, Leanne. Yeah, it is early. I woke up about 4 o'clock this morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. And so I've been piddling around doing little things. And one of the things that has to get done this weekend is I have to finish this box of pennies because I need it to go back to the bank and I need to get it rolled up. I have some other change. But anyway, yesterday, for those of you who missed my announcement, my brother called and told me to go check outside my door because apparently he had gotten a notice that something that he had ordered for me had been delivered. And when I went out and I reached down to pick this package up, it was a little bit heavy for the old gal to pick up. And I'm like, what in the world is in here? And he got me a new computer because he has been watching this one just implode on itself. This one is over 10 years old, or right around 10 years old. I believe I got it in 2014 or 2013 when I was in Michigan. So it has served well, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles I need. Good morning, Paula. Good morning, Johnson families. Oh, gosh. So, anyway, he sent me a new computer. And, of course, it's going to take me a while to get everything moved over. And some of the stuff I'm just going to copy off onto an external hard drive and let it live there. Doesn't even need to go on the new one. But the new one has a lot more RAM and better graphics card. And well, the reason that he did it, Florida, is twofold. Number one, he encourages me to do my live streams, and we've been struggling with the computer locking up doing that. But also because I have a lot of those medical teleconference things, and I have to do a lot of stuff on here with my medical records going through those patient portal arrangements. And a couple of times recently, I've been trying to talk with a doctor online and just had the whole thing lock up and have to go back and call the doctor back from my cell phone and try to do the conference that way. And because I live out in the middle of nowhere, I need to rely on that sometimes, and may still have to rely on it to a point when I get to Michigan, accessing records from back here. And so for those reasons, like I said, my brother doesn't just buy me things to be buying them. There has to be something that affects my medical or my quality of life, something that helps me function. And I was talking to him the other night about, it's been a subject for several months, this computer doing all the weird things that it was doing. And so, but yeah, I had no idea it was even uh, a thing that he would be getting me a computer. And he got me a 2-year warranty on it, so. But he said, my brother is an electronics guru. He actually has, I think it's 13, maybe 14 patents, U.S. patents for things that he invented that have to do either with computers or cell phones. Early on in the development of cell phones, my brother was instrumental in that technology. And he's basically my tech support. What we were gonna do, if he gave me several suggestions of how to try to fix this one, and then if none of those worked, I was going to set it up where he could do a remote log on and prowl around in my computer and see if we could figure out why it's been acting up. And I think part of why he bought the computer for me is it just easier just to buy me a new computer than it is to spend all that time digging around in a 10-year-old system trying to figure out why it doesn't want to dance. So for whatever reason, he just opted to do that. And I am very, very grateful. We'll now have enough get up and go to actually try running OBS, which means I'll be able to have games and a little better multi-camera setups and just a lot more things that I can't do. I mean, this computer has gotten so bad that I'd be writing something in Microsoft Word and it would not back up the Microsoft Word document. So right in the middle of it, I would lose it and have to start all over. So we're getting older, but we're still not in the wheat field. We're standing outside the fence yelling, "Wheat, grow!" But it goes into copper. So anyway, that was really exciting. That it was kind of, they had already sent me something for my birthday, but I think this was like real birthday gift. And I absolutely was not expecting it. I was so excited. I was like a little kid. Oh my god, I got a new computer, I got a new computer. And I have transferred my data from my stuff from one computer to another before, and I know it's going to take me a while. But one of the good things is when it comes to computer stuff, I kind of am always hesitant to get rid of things. And one of the things I did not get rid of was this, I can't remember the name of it at this early hour of the morning, but it's a program that you just plug this cable in and it lets you transfer all of your stuff directly from one computer to another. And I got it when I lived down in Georgia, when I got a new laptop and I had to transfer everything that I had on my old laptop over. So I got this program with the sync cord and everything, and I kept it when I moved. So, and I know exactly where it is. I have a little box that has all my uh like my Windows backup CD, and that program's in there, and my Adobe stuff. So I have all the original softwares, and I have that software transfer with the cable. So that will make things a lot easier. But I got to go through this computer first because there's a bunch of stuff on here. I'm not going to move on to the new one, but I have actually two external hard drives. One of them's not very big, but the other one is a 1 terabyte that came out of a computer that I had that something else went wrong with, but there was nothing wrong with that giant hard drive. So I kept that for all my, that's just photos and video stuff. So it's going to take a while to get everything moved over, but once we do, I believe it's going to make things way better for this channel and for other projects. I have had a problem lately with breakfast time for the Johnson families. Yum, what we having? So I have a couple of different video software editing programs, and I have one that I like, but it's a little intensive on the system, and sometimes it doesn't want to work, and I'll have to get out of it and start it over again. So all the way down the line, it's just going to make things so much better. I'm so excited, even though, like I said, it's going to be a lot of work, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just going to make my life so much better. And I couldn't figure out why my brother was asking me what size my monitor was. All right, thanks for popping in, Florida. Hit that like button on your way out, please. We're trying to build up some goodies. There's another 6090 for the copper hopper. Yeah, I'm not searching these really, really well. I don't know where my cheat sheet is, but some of them I know what I'm looking for on. And, yeah, that was real exciting, and it's not an April Fool's joke, by the way. Oh, that's the other thing. Warning. Today is April Fool's Day. People are going to try to pull crap on you. So be aware. Don't get suckered by anybody and their ridiculousness. I absolutely can't stand April Fool's jokes. And I usually get suckered by 2 or 3 of them, but nothing serious. And just sometimes people get a little carried away with them. That's why I don't see anything wrong with a little funny thing. But, I mean, I've had people, one of my friends back in high school chose April Fool's Day to play a joke on her husband and tell him that she was pregnant. Well, they already had a bunch of kids, and they had been discussing for quite a while that they could not afford any more children. And she thought that would be funny. And this guy lost his freaking mind. Somebody goobered up Mr. Lincoln there. Anyway, this poor guy absolutely lost his mind when she told him that, and he actually attempted to take his own life because he was so freaked out at the idea of them having another child that the burden was just too much for him. Scheduled breakfast. All right. Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm not leaving the house today either. Weather's stinky here in Virginia. But anyway, she thought that would be a funny joke, and it backfired. And after that, I've been very leery of things that people do for what they think is just a harmless joke. She had no idea he would react that way. She thought he'd just get a little bit freaked out, and then she'd tell him, like, April Fool's. But he went running out the door and jumped in his truck, and down the road he went, and yeah, it wasn't good. So if you are the kind of person who pulls April Fool's jokes, don't do anything related to health or divorce or things like, oh honey, our house is being foreclosed. Don't do those kind of jokes, please, because you don't know how someone is going to react. You may think it's all lighthearted, tee hee, I gotcha, and you don't, even with your spouse or significant other, you don't always know what's going on in their head, and they might take something very differently than what your intent was. So let's all be cool with the April Fool. Oh, I made a bad rhyme. Be cool with your April Fool. Uh, anyway. Yeah, the weather's pretty bad. Right now the rain has stopped, but it's been raining all night. I can tell just by looking out at our parking lot. And I'm more concerned about these winds that they say are coming at about 3 this afternoon, and they're supposed to be zinging through here all night. And Appalachian Power has probably the oldest worn out infrastructure ever. I mean, you drive down the street here and out along the Blue Ridge Parkway, and the utility poles are like leaning sideways, and they're old. They're just, and there's so much woods where trees are just leaning this way and that way, and when the ground gets wet and soggy, those trees start leaning more and more, and you can see trees that have just totally uprooted. They aren't snapped off. The wind has just blown them right out of the ground. So we have to, if you're smart, you have a plan for cooking and power and all of those things. I keep everything charged up, and plus I have a solar charger for my phone that will charge my phone 4 times, and then I have 2 other phone chargers are not solar powered, but they're charged up, and they will each charge the phone twice. The uh, solar powered one I keep as a backup for my laptop, so I can get on the computer if I need be, if there's any internet, which most of the time there isn't, but I can still get on there and play games, or do some typing, whatever, things like that, so I can still kind of work a little bit. And then I have a portable radio that has AM and FM and news band and a weather band. Got fresh batteries for that, got water, got a little sterno stove if I absolutely need to make anything hot, like coffee. And I have plenty of food that doesn't require cooking, and water. So I have a pretty decent preparation in case anything goes really bad. But a lot of people don't, and I noticed yesterday I had to go over to the Wally World, and there was a zillion folks over there buying water and stuff, and batteries and all that. Oh, and I have all kinds of batteries stocked up. All right, why is... All right, let me get the Nightbot hooked up here. All right, I got it set for everybody. Now you just, if you want to get in on a giveaway that's going to be coming up pretty soon, just make a little post of some kind there in the streamy, and regular ears there. Another 62D. Yeah, I go back through the copper when I'm rolling it. Look at those. This box has had quite a bit of copper in it. But yeah, I still got over a half a box of pennies I got to get through this weekend. And then I got to roll them. I rolled some quarters, and I've rolled some nickels, and I've rolled some halves. And I even rolled some dimes. I hardly ever have dimes, but a couple months ago I got a few rolls of dimes because I was trying to fill some spaces in my albums. So anyway, I gotta roll that up. Whatever's in there goes in the moving fund. That's kind of one of the ways I'm able to save money. A little bit of money each month to put in the moving fund is I take money from my regular income or from items that I sell at farmers markets and stuff, and I do my little coin searches, and then I take the leftovers from that and deposit that in the moving fund so I can't spend it. And that helps me save for the moving. The other thing I do is whatever is left, which isn't usually much of anything, but whatever's left in my bank account at the end of the month, I move that over into the moving fund. It may only be $5 or $6, but the last day of the month, I do that. I just leave enough in my account to keep it open because I know my Social Security is going to go in there. And so that's part of it. Another thing I got to get going this weekend is I have a bunch of stuff that I need to get listed on eBay. And some of it is going to sound a little strange. I have several hoodies and several t-shirts. They are brand new and they are all related to motocross racing. And why I have those, I mean, they're what's called new old stock. They're brand new items that were given to my friend Tommy, who worked at a motocross track, and he gave them to me because he would get so many of them. Every big race they'd have, all the different company reps that were down there giving away freebies would always give him shirts and different items. And he had so much of that stuff. Hey, it's Friday on Saturday. How you doing, Mr. Friday? I don't see any Wheaties in this bunch, but let's see what there is. So anyway, he had given me all this stuff to sell, and I had it all packaged up real nice, in airtight plastic and everything. And it got put in my storage and I couldn't find it, so I never got any of it listed on eBay. Well, I was down there putting the Christmas stuff back in and found two of those great big bags that you suck all the air out of with your vacuum to vacuum seal the stuff in, and it was all that brand new motocross stuff. So I got a hold of a friend of mine and asked if I could borrow a tripod, because now that my eye is a little bit messed up, it's harder for me to focus and hold my camera properly. So they're bringing me a tripod this afternoon so I can get all that merchandise photographed. And I also have to photograph some jewelry. So I got a lot of things to do this weekend, trying to add money to the moving fund, because 3 to 4 months sounds like a lot of time, but it sneaks up on you really fast. And we've pretty much decided that my car is not going with me. It just doesn't. It's always breaking down, and it needs so many repairs that I don't even know if it would hold together for us to tow it behind a truck. I just don't. So I'll have to pick up another car on the other end, but I know people that work on cars and people that go to the auto auctions and all of that stuff up in Michigan. So I probably won't get very much for it. It's pretty much junk, but I hate getting rid of it because I love this car and they don't make them anymore. So I'll have to find something when I get there. So anything that I can sell and don't have to haul with me, then that needs to happen within the next 90 days or so. So, and of course, right in the middle of it, my brother sends me a new computer. So we will see. And then I got a phone call from one of my doctors telling me I had an appointment on Tuesday afternoon. And I'm like, I guess it was scheduled 6 months ago or something. I don't have that one written down. Everybody's run away and left me. It says I only got one person. How am I going to give anything away if I only got one person? I know. Well, if I get up to 10 people, then I'll give something away. How's that? Otherwise, we'll just hold it for the Monday night low dose show and do giveaway then. Some copper. But the way this computer works, for some reason, it does not like the software that came with my microscope. And it a 69S. Looky there, we got a San Francisco. Oh, there's Leanne. Yeah, we got a 69S to go with my 68S. The 68S, I've been needing that one for years. And there's a 69D. Now, some of the 69Ss are worth quite a bit of money, but I don't really have the capabilities to figure out whether this one is or not. So I'm going to take it over to the coin dealer here in town. And one of the things I have learned about my local coin dealer, he tries to keep a poker face. If you bring something good in, he tries not to have any reaction because he wants to buy it from you. But I would be able to beat this guy at poker every time because he keeps his face straight, but he can't keep his eyes straight. And if you put a coin or a piece of jewelry in front of him that he's interested in, you can see it in his eyes right away that you've got something that has some value to it. So he's just not good at hiding it. And so I'm going to take this. I've got a couple of coins I'm going to take over and have him look at. And if I see his face, his eye do that thing, then I know I've got a good one. And whatever he offers me is probably not a good offer. So anyhow, yeah, so I gotta sell a lot of stuff between now and whenever an apartment comes open. I'm guessing because she said 3 or 4 months. That was last month. But I'm guessing that at least one tenant there has given them notice that they're not going to be renewing their lease. So, anyhow, I've got to seriously start, start getting things pared down. The weather's been so nasty that I haven't really been able to get down there in the storage and do stuff. I've got all the boxes that I need. I mean, my storage looks like it's full, but half of what's in there is empty boxes. And then there's 2 spare tires and a spare rim that go with my car. When I had to replace a rim a couple of years ago, I had a terrible time finding one because they don't make this car anymore. And the ones I did find were very expensive. And I managed to find a car the next state over at one of those you pull it junkyards. Found one the same year as mine, and I went down there to get one rim, and the tires were still on the car. 2 of them were messed up, but there was 2 good rims with tires on them, and the guy let me have them both for the cost he had quoted me for one. So we went ahead, and I got them both because I know I can sell those. After a few days of sunshine and snow melt, we got 3 to 4 inches of new snow. Yeah, we got a bunch of rain. We didn't get snow, but we got rain. It's still raining with a chance of more rain. And this afternoon, the real high winds are supposed to kick in. So I'm pretty much in for the weekend. I went and picked up the few things I was going to need from the grocery. And I hope I didn't forget anything. I got all the batteries and everything that I would need if we have a power outage. I have tap lights and flashlights in every room, so I always have. I'm pretty well prepped when it comes to anything like that because I used to live in a motorhome. So when I lived in the motorhome, I bought all these little things like I have sitting right here. A Memorex AM/FM pocket radio, which has AM/FM, what do you call it? News band and weather band, and then I have a separate weather radio that belonged to my mom. So, and everything else is all charged up and ready to go. Laptop, so I can amuse myself and type letters or whatever. And I have several different solar chargers. I have one solar charger that actually keeps a trickle charge going on my car battery, so that if I have to leave the car sit for a few days because the weather or because I'm sick, and it's really, really cold, sometimes that will drain your battery. So I have this other solar charger, but I can also use that for other things with an adapter, so it's pretty cool. That's another toy my brother bought me. Marty! There's Marty. He's a digger. I dig Marty. How you doing, sweetie? How's your weather? I don't get to go play. Maybe tomorrow afternoon I can go play. It depends on how much rain we get and how much wind damage comes from this mess that they say is heading towards us. What we're getting is the tail end of that horrible storm line that keeps going through Mississippi and Arkansas and Alabama and through there. I live in an area where Virginia meets Georgia and Tennessee down in the southwest corner near Bristol. Well, I'm about an hour from Bristol, but that area, oh, wet and snowing. Doggone it. Everybody's weekends are Mother Nature's playing the ultimate April Fool's joke, I guess. She's like, nah, forget it, guys. You're not digging anything. Not gonna do it. I'm gonna sit in. My brother told me that I forgot which one of the streaming networks, but I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the British TV series The Detectorists, but apparently they have made a movie now of The Detectorists. And my brother told me, I think it's on Acorn or one of the British streaming networks, and so I'm gonna try and watch that. Oh, there's the Covers. Hi guys. How is it north of me? Weather stinky down here. Yeah, the Covers are about 3 or 4 hours north of me in West Virginia, and but our weather's nasty. It's just plain nasty. Nasty weather. I'm sick of nasty weather because I got so excited when I finally got to go detecting again because it had been 6 months. The last time I had gone was, yeah, we've got that that same high wind warning. That's what we were just talking about. Um, Heck, we had it last week, and I was down at what I call Junk Park detecting, and the wind hit me so hard it knocked me right on my butt. I mean, just boom, down I went. And they're saying we're going to have that again starting this afternoon. We've had rain all night, but the rain is soaking up pretty good because we kind of needed it. But now they're saying winds 25 up to 40, 45 mile an hour wind gusts, and the power company has warned us, be prepared to lose power, trees falling down, and all that mess. So I guess I'm going to get to detect. And I was so excited because I finally got to go after 6 months. And my first trip out, I was finding junk and junk and junk because that's usually what happens, It particularly where I was. The first place I went, I couldn't get into because there was some kind of special activity being held there. So I ended up going down the road, and and that park was closed for maintenance. So I went down to the junk park, and I was up in the top lot, and I dug a 1964 Kennedy half in a place that we had picked over so many times that I didn't think there was anything in there but pull tabs and, yeah, uh, Canslaw. So I was real excited. My first trip out, I found silver. And then I did okay. I went 3 more times after that. And, I mean, I wasn't finding anything great, but I was finding some clad and some tiny little jewelry pieces and that kind of stuff. I mean, nothing, nothing major, but I was just happy to be out again. When you're used to going detecting, 3, 4 times a week, and then you don't get to go for 6 months on end. When you get out there, you're digging everything. You don't care if it's a rusty bottle cap. You're happy to see it. You look at it like, oh, well, that's a brand I haven't seen before. Instead of going, oh, it's just a bottle cap. You just try to make something out of it. And so I had just started on this new area last week. And I found 2 quarters right off the bat. I found 2 quarters. And then I found a little bit of flashing from when they had put a roof on that area. And then I found a couple pennies, and then the wind got crazy and I had to quit. And so I was hoping to get out there this weekend and do some more, because it's actually right by where I live. I can walk over to it. I don't have to drive. But it's not looking good with these high wind warnings and everything, and there's a lot of pine trees. So I don't really want to be out there walking around and have a branch come flying off a pine tree. So I guess that's not going to happen this weekend. But yeah, unfortunately, I live in apartments now, so I don't have a generator anymore. I used to have one when I had my motor home. And then when I had my own place, I still had kept the generator from the motor home. But I really wonder why they don't have backup generators for this apartment complex. And the reason I say that is because it's all senior and disabled people, and a lot of them are reliant on CPAP machines and nebulizers and oxygen and who knows what else. I have a nebulizer that I do breathing treatments twice a day, so that is an issue. But I also have this backup of an interesting product that I saw online. It's oxygen in a can. It's called Boost, not the Boost like you drink for extra nourishment, but it's a metal can of oxygen, a small can of oxygen. And back in, I guess it was the 90s or the 2000s, they used to have these oxygen bars where you would go into the bar and you could like breathe in pure oxygen. Well, that's basically what this stuff in the can is. And it's under $10 for one of those cans, but I bought one a while back and I carry it in my finds bag. And I have a couple of times gotten out in the field and felt that I was not getting proper oxygen and I couldn't really get home to do a breathing treatment. Take a hit off of that can and sit down for a minute and good to go. So that's kind of thing you wouldn't necessarily think about carrying with you when you metal detect. But if you have any kind of breathing problems, it's not a bad thing to have along with you. The top of the can fits over your mouth and nose, and you just push down this thing and it gives you a blast of oxygen. And like I said, it's not an expensive item, but there have been a couple times where it has really been a big help. So, and somebody told me they saw it not too long ago being sold at Lowe's. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I bought it online, but apparently some Lowe's stores carry it. Uh, anyway, it's something I kind of recommend you have in case somebody is having breathing difficulties while you're out detecting. You can at least get them a couple of blasts of oxygen while you're trying to get them some real assistance. But I have two of them. I have one that is in my finds bag and one that's in my bedroom. Because sometimes when I get AFib, I'll get like real anxiety along with it and I can't breathe. And take a hit off of that, I'm good to go. Oh, we got us a weed. We got us a weedie this morning. Is it going to be wheat check? Cream of wheat? Wheaties breakfast of champions? What kind of weedy did we get? Da, 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 da. 1947D. And that is our seventh Wheatie of the box. Plus we've got the 68S and the 69S. And we're not halfway through this box yet. The goal is to finish it this weekend. And then once I've done this for a while today, then I gotta run a bunch of diagnostic programs on this computer, which my brother, I don't know, some of you have met my brother. He comes in the stream once in a while, but we've really been struggling with this 10-year-old computer. And my brother bought me a new computer. It came yesterday. And I had no idea that it was coming, but it's like got all the bells and whistles that I couldn't afford when I bought this one. So I will be moving all my stuff over to the new one, but I got to go through and get a bunch of junk off of here, make sure I don't have any viruses or anything before we transfer my stuff to the new one. But yeah, my brother, I end up repeating things in the stream because different sets of people will come in, but my brother is not one to just buy me whatever I want by any sense of the word. But if he sees that I have a need for something, especially if it's something that relates in any way to my health situation, then if he thinks there's a viable need for that, he will just go and get it for me. And in regards to the computer, because of where we live, and the Covers can tell you, they're in an area similar to what I'm in. A lot of times I have to do medical things on the computer. I will do Zoom conferences with doctors, or I have to get on one of those patient portal things and pull medical records or check my appointments or things like that, arrange transportation. And I have been in the middle of conferences with doctors and just had this thing just shut down. And it's not my internet. It's just this computer is old and doesn't want to dance with the other ones anymore. And plus, my brother is a former detectorist. He's no longer healthy enough to do it, but he comes in the channel periodically. And so he's seen me struggling with this computer. And the other night we were trying to do an auction, and it's really hard to do an auction when the thing's locking up on people and you've got people bidding on something, and then all of a sudden your system just so he surprised me with a late birthday gift. And when it's all said and done and I get everything over on the other machine, for one thing, it's going to make video production a whole lot better, because this one's got way more go juice and a better graphics card. And I'm with you on that, Marty, but I'm going to tell you a story. When I first started getting all of these horrible autoimmune disorders, I ended up going up. This is when I went up to Michigan the first time. They couldn't figure out what I had down in Florida. Ooh, I've done more pennies than I thought I had. Anyway, they couldn't figure out what I had. And they had, one of the doctors down there had found a clinical trial that was going on at a place. It's now got a different name, but at the time it was Silverton Skin Institute. And because one of these ailments was causing this weird, rare form of psoriasis, and they wanted to put me in this clinical trial and see if this medication was going to possibly work for me. And by the time I got up there, I was actually having to use a wheelchair part of the time, but mostly I was using what's called a rollator, which is like a walker with a seat. And there was going to be no dancing for this girl, and I love to dance. And when they got me in I went up there. I was living in my I was living in a 35-year-old motorhome. That's how desperate I was, trying to get some care and figure out what I had. So I'm living in this old motorhome, and I get up there, and Dr. Silverton figured out what I had, and I reacted very well to the medication that they were doing the trial on. But insurance didn't want to pay for it, so we had to fight a little bit to get that treatment started. But the end result of it was, one of my very, very best friends in the whole world is this absolutely unique person. My friend Q, who is the lead singer for the 60s band Question Mark and the Mysterians, and he's a dancer. That boy can dance. And so they're treating me, and I was able to get rid of the wheelchair, and I was able to quit using the walker. M3 thought that was his thing. He took over the rollator. But the coolest thing that I got to do that year is about a year and a half down the line. But when my birthday came around, and I was able to walk and do, things I hadn't been able to do for 2-3 years. And I get to Q's on my birthday, and he had cleared out this whole space in the garage and made a big dance floor and had it all decorated up. And so for my birthday, I got to dance with Q. And people think that sounds like a stupid gift, but I'll tell you what, when you haven't been able to walk or do anything that you really love for like a couple of years, just being able to get out there and cut the rug, boy, I mean, that was, to me, that's still one of the best birthdays I ever had. It was just so cool. I mean, who gets to dance with an old rock star for their birthday? And the fact that a year before I could hardly walk. So, yeah, that's one of my things. As long as I can dance, I'm good. Yeah, I can only dance one song, and then I gotta sit down and hit that can of Boost Oxygen. Okay, there's a piece of copper for the hopper. But yeah, I will never forget that birthday, because between Dr. Silverton and his institute, and I have been on, we finally got the insurance to pay for the medication, which, I mean, it's expensive. I get 4 shots a month, and it's over $7,000 for 1 month's supply. And that's also why I don't live in Florida anymore, is Florida Medicaid would not help me with that medication. They wouldn't pay for it. And we tried other similar medications and they don't work. This one works. And without it, I did learn how long I can go without the medication before the psoriasis and the psoriatic arthritis kick back in. And if I go longer than 16 days without this medication, it'll start kicking back in. And I found that out when I ran down to Florida when my friend Tommy had his stroke, and I forgot to take my meds with me. And I was at the hospital down there with him for 16 days, and all of it started kicking back in. So as unpleasant as that was, it was kind of good that I did that, because now we know that's how long I can go without that medicine before I start having problems. And that medication actually treats 4 different conditions that I have. So, yeah, it costs $7,000 a month, but keeps me going. So, but yeah, that's my dancing story. When I got to dance with Q. I mean, it must have taken him all day to fix that garage up the way he had it. It was so cool. He had it where it kind of looked like a 1950s soda fountain. It was really cool, and we were dancing to all this 50s and early 60s music. It was a lot of fun. It was awesome. The very fact that I could stand up and dance was amazing. Oh, so close to the wheat field that we're actually got our shirt hooked on the barbed wire. Doggone it. Need to just be a little bit older. When I reached in the box over here, I guess I've done more rolls than I thought I had, because I thought I was only halfway through, but apparently I've only got about 10 rolls left. And then I've got some loose ones that are in there because I dropped the box and a couple of the rolls broke open. So, don't know what's in them. But I will get this part of the project done today so I can get these rolled up. Monday they can go back to the bank. Yeah, I didn't plan on getting this box. I went to the bank just to make a deposit, and the lady saw me coming before I got in the lobby, and she had already gone over to the safe because she just assumed I was coming to get pennies. And so by the time I got in and got up to the counter, she had already gone and gotten the box. So I just went ahead and got the box. Oh, wow. What do I have left in here? Okay, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I've got, technically, I have 12 rolls. 2 of them are broken open. So I'm going to try and finish them up today. That's one of my goals. I have a bad habit of starting projects and not finishing those projects. And these pennies have been sitting here for a long time because right after I got them, I got influenza A and spent a little bit of time in the hospital and a lot of time in bed. And I got over that. Well, I wasn't even completely over that. And then I got the COVID. I got the beer pox. And I ended up back in the hospital again. And I was so sick I couldn't sit at the computer and go through the pennies. So this box of pennies has been here since November. And I really want to get them done. Right now I am picking out the shield pennies because I just don't search them. I don't like them. And there's not that many potential errors on them. So I just throw those back and somebody else can weed their way through those. Leave something for the other people. Okay, let's see what else is in here. I don't see anything. A lot of copper, though. Oh, Digger Dog gotta go out. Going out in the snow. All right. Yeah, I'm going to be here till I finish these 12 rolls. That's my goal, is I want to finish this box, wrap it up, and then I can start the computer on all these maintenance things that my brother gave me to run before we start moving stuff to the new one, so we make sure we're not taking any viruses or any extraneous crap to the new machine. So yeah, I made this my goal for the day, to work my way through these pennies and get them where they're ready to roll. I'm trying to decide if we want to have another one of those guess how many pennies are in the container contest. That was pretty fun. And I got a bunch of them again, so we could probably do it. I just have to see what I have for a prize. I got some ideas. Got some ideas. So we're just, yeah, those software that came with this microscope doesn't work very well. And I've discovered that my microscope works much better when I run it through StreamYard. I don't know why, but it does. So I just, whenever I search coins, I just make a StreamYard out of it. It doesn't matter if people are watching or not. I mean, I appreciate that people are watching, and I always hope I find something good to share with the people. But mostly I just run it so I have a record of what I found and when I found it, and I can see it better with the scope. So that's why I do. This one's got a little bit of the rim from the rolling machine. You can see the little round circle over here around the edge there. So, but nothing exciting. A lot of copper. If I had saved all my copper, it probably would have broken my bookshelf. But I have such a tiny workspace that, and since they really have not announced what's going to happen when they quit making pennies, I just don't. Maybe after I get to Michigan, I'll start saving my copper. But right now, it would just be one more thing to move, and I'm trying to weed down the amount of things that I take with me, because it's costly to move, and it costs way more now than it used to. So anything, like I just sent a bunch of jewelry making supplies that I figured if I have carried them from Florida to Michigan, from Michigan to Georgia, from Georgia to Virginia, and I still haven't used them, I'm probably not going to use that. So I have a couple of young ladies who are 13, 12. No, I have three young ladies. One is 12, one is 13, and one is 14. And they have all expressed interest in jewelry and crafting. So I shipped out, I took flat rate boxes and just filled them till I couldn't put any more in, and sending supplies to those young ladies so that they can make beautiful things out of them, because I've got a lot of that stuff that, like I said, I've been hauling it around for 4 or 5 years, longer than that in some case, 10 years, never used it. I'm not moving it again. So, and then I have some craft items I'm going to try and sell, some glass beads and crystal, that kind of stuff, and try and sell some of that so I can add that money to the fund. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff to move, and I'm just not gonna. I'm just not gonna. I mean, there's some stuff I'm not ready to part with yet, but stuff like that, I know I'm just not gonna use it, so I'm giving it to kids. I have not made a decision yet on the metal detectors. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to get rid of my simplex, but I also have my original bounty hunter gold digger That's the one I usually let the kids play with. And then I have another one that used to belong to my brother, and it was actually branded as a Kellyco house brand back in around 2000, but it was actually made by Technetics, who also do the bounty hunters. And it's a detector that is still on the market today. And my brother treated everything, everything was always kept clean. And so it's like brand new, even though it's 20 years old. And that one I have not decided yet. I think I'm going to keep it as a backup. So I don't know that I'm going to get rid of any of the detecting stuff because I got places to go in Michigan and people that want to learn. So don't know about selling any of that. But my cameras are probably going to go because I can't see well enough anymore to really take photos. I've tried to teach myself to look through my left eye, and it's just not working. And I can't see, I can only see out of the bottom half of my right eye because of that inflammatory tumor stuff that's growing around my optic nerve. So I think my days as a photographer are probably done. So that's something else that's going to be on the chopping block pretty soon. None of the stuff is particularly new, but it's all quite functional, and it's all Canon. It's not like junk. It's good quality camera equipment. It's just older. And some people actually like the older stuff better. And I have a set of digital and a set of film cameras. A lot of people are kind of starting to like the idea of shooting black and white film again, which is interesting. But it's just a lot of work to suddenly go through your whole household and start selling your stuff. It's not just the physical aspect, it's the emotional aspect of letting things go. But I don't want to leave a bunch of work for my relatives, and I don't want things that are valuable just getting thrown in the trash, like 50 years of family history books and stuff. There's like great 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 grandparents marriage certificates and stuff like that. I don't want that stuff just ending up in the trash. So I'm making arrangements for where everything is supposed to go when I'm through with it. So even that takes a while, just doing the inventory. And then you find things and you're like, why in the heck have I been keeping this for 50 years or whatever? It's because I think it's the same reason that we metal detect and collect coins and things like that, because we like the history of things. We like to know where they came from and why are they here and why are we here. I'm getting tired of looking at pennies, but I'm going to keep pursuing. I'm going to finish this box somehow. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Take all these shields out of here. Can't stand them. Wonder how many times I've said that since I started working with coins and detectors. It's like when I lived down in Georgia, it seemed like every day I was saying that the ground was as hard as concrete. And it was. Come on, Wheaties. Please, I need some Wheaties. Tired of these. I want something different. Yeah, I do want something different. Okay, what's going on with that? Yeah, I'm real excited about the new computer. I cannot believe my brother bought me a computer. Uh, it's going to be work getting everything moved over, but I'll be able to do a lot better stuff. Because my editing program, I wanted to run my other one and it won't run. Didn't have enough go in this computer. Like right now, it's acting up. And it's just giving me fits. But yeah, Paula, my apartment in Georgia was, if I remember right, 845 square feet. The one that I'm in now. Oh, and it had both a front and back patio. So I had all this room out there for plants and, places hang out and sit out there with little tables and all of that. I get up here and this one is 495 square feet. And there's just no room. The apartment in Georgia had a full dining room. Well, of course, I didn't need a full dining room. I turned that full dining room into a full craft room where I didn't have to get out a little box and try to work out of it and then put it all away. I could just have my sewing machine out, my jewelry stuff was out, my photography stuff was out, and I just had little sections in this room for it, and everything was neat and tidy. And I can't find diddly doo doo in this place because it's so small. I just have to stick things in little cubbies and then try to remember where I put it. And then the rest of it is down the street a mile in a storage. I mean, it doesn't sound like much to lose 200 square feet or so, but it is. It's just, it borders on being claustrophobic. And I used to live in a motorhome. I mean, I am slowly paring it down, but yeah, I totally understand that statement. 1,300 square foot house with 28,000 square foot of stuff. I totally get that. I mean, I have stuff crammed on. I have my bed up on bed risers so I could put boxes under my bed. I mean, I don't have a couch. I have a hide-a-bed, or what do you call it? A roll-away bed. And there's boxes under it. There's boxes under every piece of furniture in here. You know, little plastic storage containers with jewelry supplies or metal detecting fines. Or, there's just no room. And the one in Michigan uh, is, what would she say? Approximately 795 square feet, but it has also, if you're on the ground floor, you have a double wide patio, and if you're upstairs, you have a double wide balcony. One part of it's outside the living room, and the other part is outside the bedroom. So I'll have more space. And this whole apartment only has one little closet in the bedroom and then a little pantry out here between the bathroom and the kitchen. The one in Michigan has a linen closet, a good sized closet in the bedroom, a hall closet when you first come in the front door so you can put your coat and all of that, and a pantry. So it's got twice as much closet space too. But nonetheless, I don't want to haul a bunch of stuff if I'm not going to use it, or it doesn't have somewhere in my family that I'm going to be sending it to. Like the family history stuff is actually going to be donated to a library where most of my family lives, since they have the local genealogical society's stuff there. And that way, anybody in my family that wants to go see those books and get that information can go get it from them, rather than try to pick one person and give it to them. And then if that person gets PO'd at somebody in the family and they don't want to share, you end up with a bunch of bickering. So those things will be donated to where the local genealogical societies, you can go in and look at them. You can't take them home with you, but you can look at them and make copies and stuff. Because I have a huge family. My mother had 14 brothers and sisters, and my father had 11 brothers and sisters. So trying to pick one person to give something like that to is impossible. So I decided that how I'm going to do that, because I have several notebooks full of research. My mother's family, I've researched them back to the 1600s. And these books are full of photos, and they're full of documents, and like I said, if I passed them down to one person, that's just not going to work. So I'm not quite done with them yet, but last year for Christmas, not this year, but last year, I had asked my brother to get me this book that it's a planner that you list in there where you want all your things to go, and then you put this in your will, but then you have this separate inventory book. That's what it is. It's an inventory book. And that way I can make sure that, because I do have a lot of collectibles and stuff that are family stuff. They may not be worth a lot of money to anybody, but when you have a big family, everybody's going to want something. So I've been working on that for a year now, and as I go through things, some of it's just stuff that I've donated to a local thrift store that runs a food pantry so that they can sell that stuff and provide food. And I've donated, let me see, I had a rental SUV for a week and I filled it twice and took 2 loads then. And then I had a 10-foot U-Haul truck for a few days a while back, and I took a bunch of stuff over then. And periodically I'll just drop off a bag full of stuff. So I'm weeding it down so I don't have to haul as much to Michigan, because I don't, my big goal on that is I don't want to have to rent a storage. I want to cut back, get rid of enough stuff. That's odd. Am I the only one that thinks that 3 looks weird? Let me see if I can zoom. Zoomy. Let's see if we can zoom me down here. Oop-de-doo. Oh, okay, it's just damage. But I couldn't tell. One closet, yeah. Well, this one pretty much has one closet. It has a very small, very dark closet in the bedroom, and then there's a little tiny pantry out here that I think it's actually not a pantry. I think it's a linen closet, but it's not very big, and I have a lot of my craft stuff is in it because that's about all it's good for. I don't know. I mean, part of this is just damage. Once I got zoomed in on it, I could see that this right up at the top of the 3, that's just some damage. But it's still I don't know, it just didn't look right. It looked like it wasn't straight. I guess that's the way to phrase that. And the last penny in this roll is, all right, so how many I got left? Still got a few. Yeah, I just don't want to haul a bunch of stuff. It's some of the stuff I've been putting up on Facebook Marketplace. And I've got a little eBay store that I've started. I got a lot of stuff I got to get listed. So that part of that's going to happen this weekend, as soon as my friend brings that tripod over. I've got a place set up where I can take photos of the stuff that I want to sell. I got everything from a real nice pair of cowboy boots. I've got Walt Disney World Goofy hat, a vintage Goofy. I mean, I got Scooby-Doo's, a couple of Scooby-Doo's. Just a lot of stuff that, I mean, I've enjoyed having it, but I think it needs to go to a different home now, and some needs. I got a couple of guitars and some musical equipment that I just don't think my arthritis doesn't really let me play very much. I'm not getting rid of all my guitars, but I got a couple that I'm going to be selling. Although one of them I may wait until I get to Michigan because I don't think there's a market around here and I don't want to pay shipping on it. It's one of the main reasons I don't play it is because it's too heavy. Hard for me to hold on to. But yeah, I gotta get going on those projects. I was so sick, I just couldn't work on any of this stuff. And now my thing is I have to really learn to pace myself because I'll get up and I feel good that day, and so I'll try to get way too many things done and exhaust myself, and then I'm in bed for 2 days. So I have to, like, I know it sounds strange, but when I go metal detecting, I set a timer on my cell phone where I will detect for 15 or 20 minutes and then the timer goes off and I go sit down for 15 or 20 minutes. Because otherwise I will just keep going because I get into what I'm doing and then the next day I'm useless. I can't do anything. So I end up making a 2-hour block of time, but every 15 or 20 minutes I go sit down for 15 or 20 minutes. So it actually ends up with about an hour of detecting and an hour of taking the break. So until I build myself back up, I'm doing some little exercises that you do sitting in a chair. And days like this where I can't go outside and walk, I wander up and down the hall like something from the zombie apocalypse. I'm not the only one that does that. A lot of us. This is a 3-story building, so, and I live in the middle of it, so I'll start on my floor and then I go upstairs and walk the hall up there, come back down, walk my floor again, and then go down to the lower level, walk that one. And by then, I get in the elevator and come back to my floor, and then I'm done. Sometimes I take my rollator with me if I feel like I'm going to need to sit down. And sometimes I just take my cane. I always take my cell phone. So if I get into a situation, I can call for help. Just trying to work my way back to being a humanoid. Oh, Weedy! Weedy, 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 Weedy. Got a weeder. A weeder tweeter. Here we go. We got the Wheaties. Got the Wheaties. It's got some of its detail left in the wheat, but a lot of the detail is gone. It's kind of smooth. It's smooth. Let's see what year we got. Da-dum, da-dum. 1950D. Put that on the stack. So we've got 9 Wheaties now. One of them is in somebody's prize pack from the other night because I gave it away, but I've got it written down wherever my card is. Yeah, a 1950 Wheatie and a 1977 Canadian that got given away because I gave away whatever was in the role I was doing, and that went to Arnie C. So I wrote it down so I could count it in the final inventory of the box. Put a floor on the inside of the basement steps in the little hallway. Turn that into a closet. Yeah, we did that in the house I grew up in. There was just a space under the stairway that went up to where my bedroom was. And it was a pretty good sized space. And my dad made that into a closet that on one side of it was where he kept his hunting rifle and that kind of stuff. And then the rest of it was, there was a shelf across the back that just had like things that Mom didn't use very often, like our luggage, luggage and that kind of stuff. And of course, the luggage was all full of clothes we didn't use all the time. I mean, we lived in Florida, so you really didn't have a lot of winter clothes. But because our family was from Iowa, periodically somebody would have to go to Iowa for whatever reason, and you would need a winter coat or whatever. And so all that stuff was crammed in the back of that closet. And I keep leaning on my keyboard. That's why these things keep coming up. So, yeah, we did the same thing, turned that unused space into closet space because that house didn't really have any closet space to speak of. There was one little closet in the bedroom that my sister and I shared. There was no closet in the bedroom upstairs, but that was my brother's room, and I don't think he cared whether he had a closet or not. So when I got that room, I just put a clothes rack off in a corner. And then there wasn't even a closet in my parents' room. And we did the same thing. We just had a clothes rack in there. So building that one under the stairwell was a big help. A lot of stuff got crammed off in there. Okay, let's get these out of here. I think I'm down to 9 rolls now. Get these shields out. Yeah, I can go through the box a whole lot faster if I don't weed through and look at every shield, but I have to put everything under the scope because my eyesight in my right eye, due to this IgG4, is not good. I mean, I can still drive. I can see to drive. The problem with it is it has obstructed. It's like somebody drew a line across my eye, and I can't see properly out of the top half of the eye, but the vision in the bottom half of the eye is good. I've got this tissue that has grown around my optic nerve, and it is causing an obstruction, and they can't. Yeah, I thought I was sleeping in too, James, but I woke up at like 4 a.m. and could not go back to sleep. So I decided I was going to finish this box of pennies. Look for the wide AM, didn't get it. So I'm down to the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rolls. That's counting the 2 that broke open. So I'm determined to finish this up. And then I gotta load some programs on this computer, diagnostics and stuff. Make sure it's all cleaned up because I got a new computer. My brother bought me a pewter. I'm just so excited that my brother did that. I just can't believe I'm getting a new computer. Well, it's here. It got here yesterday. He called me and woke me up from my nap. Said, hey, is there a package outside your door? Oh. Yeah. Well, you might want to go look. So I did, and there was. And it's way better than the computer I have. So, but I don't want to move anything off this computer onto that one that might have any kind of virus or anything, or if I don't use it anymore, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm real excited. 82. Oh boy, Wheatie, look at this one. It's a Wheatie. It's got pokey dots. It looks like it's got monkeypox. Oh my goodness, another Wheatie. See what this one says. Looks pretty slick. Real shiny on the other side, but looks pretty slick. Ooh, oh my goodness. A 1940S. Cool. I bet I need that in my book. Woo-wee. Let's see what the Coin Bible says about 1940S. All right, let's get the red book out. Now, that's the old red book. This is the one I got from Rob Finds Treasure. Here's my other one. This one's a little bit newer. The one I got from Rob is 2019. This one's 2021. So let's see what it says. I like my books. 1940S. It's not particularly valuable, but I'm betting I don't have one in my album. In this condition, it's probably only worth about 15 cents. But, I mean, if it was like a MS-63 would be worth $4. But still, it's a cool coin to find. That's the third S that I have found. But the first one of the S's that was a Wheatie. Still, I'm excited about that. It's a good day in the neighborhood. Yeah, I didn't get to sleep in, but M3 sure is. He come out, demanded treats, got his treaters, and went back to bed. Right now, I'm looking out the window. The rain has stopped, but I can see the trees are really blowing. And the sky looks really nasty, so I'm pretty sure that rain's going to pick back up real quick. Paula, that sounds like our house. Close my wall. we were poor. We were poor. We didn't realize we were poor until about, I think when I was in second grade was when I realized we were poor. And the reason I realized it was I wanted to join the Brownies, and my parents said no because we couldn't afford the uniform, and it was 10 cents a week. You had to pay your dues. Well, we could have afforded the 10 cents, but I couldn't afford the uniform. And so initially I was told no, I could not join. And then my mom found, actually, my mom and her friend that she worked with had gone to the Goodwill to try and get us some school clothes. I mean, we were poor. And my mom used to make all my clothes, but then she had gone to work, so she didn't really have time. So she and her friend had gone to the Goodwill, and they found a Brownie uniform. It didn't fit me perfect, but it was good enough. And so I got to be into Brownies. But that was when I found out we were poor. Was I couldn't afford a uniform for Brownies. And then we did better for a while because my mom had gone to work. But then the Veterans Administration messed up my dad's pension. And so for quite a while, somehow they got it in their computer that my dad had died. And we had to, you would believe all the stuff we had to do to prove that my dad was still alive. And now, I mean, you can go online and, contact all those agencies and get things straightened out pretty quick. Oh my. Yeah, those storms last night were terrible. I have a friend lives down in near the Mississippi Arkansas border, and her town has been hit twice. They got hit about a week and a half ago when they had those storms going through, and then they got hit again last night. I mean, that's just not good. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of high wind and possible stuff like that tonight. We're getting the back end of what went through down there. Yeah, I heard thunder here last night that was shaking the building, and we don't usually get, I mean, once in a while we will, but not like last night. And I looked out the window and the trees were just blowing. Right now the sun just came out, but I'm looking off the other direction and the sky is just pitch black. And we've got high wind warnings that are starting, I think they said right after noon, we're supposed to start getting 25 to 45-mile-an-hour winds and wind gusts, and rain all the way through the middle of tomorrow. That's insane. I feel so bad for the people that are really getting hit hard. Like I said, that area down in Arkansas and Mississippi, those are already states where people are living below poverty level in most of the areas, and now they're just getting completely devastated. It is awful. Let's see what we got. Yeah. I don't think I've ever had a box that had this much copper in it. What I do with my copper is because I can't really save it, I just don't have the room, but I weigh how much I get and keep that as part of the inventory for the boxes. But I have this container that I put the copper in, and I've never had it this full, and I'm not even at the end of the box yet. There's been a lot of copper. Another one. The hopper is filling up. And a lot of projects to do this weekend. But I do have to make sure that I don't overdo and make myself sick. So after I get the programs on this computer to clean it up, I'm gonna do an easy project, which is we had the little coin and jewelry sale the other night, and Archaeology Mikey's mom is one of my regular jewelry customers, and she's got 3 pairs of my little critters of kitty cats, and Mikey sent me pictures of them so I can see if I still have those kitty cat charms. So if I do, then we're gonna make necklaces to go with those earrings. So for one of my little breaks, I got to get the box of critters down and see if I have cats that match the ones that she got the earrings. So that's like a non-strenuous thing that I can do. And then furry plants and coins. I got to get 2 more sheet music necklaces out for her. So I'll be doing that at the same time. And I did end up having one more sale on a coin after the stream ended. I had one coin that didn't sell during the stream, but someone came back and asked me if I would take what I had listed as the starting bid on that coin, because they were not in there when that coin went up for auction. So I ended up selling one more coin. I still haven't been through all of my coins yet. And then somebody asked me if I was going to sell any of the stuff from my stamp collection, which I had not even thought about. So I don't know about that, but I have this one set that I bought a couple of years ago. It's got World War II World War II era coins and World War II stamps in it. It's really cool. I got into a terrible bidding war on that one and ended up, by the time it was over, everybody wanted me to win this auction, and they were kind of rooting for me to win. And somebody said, well, that's cheating. That's, you're trying to rig the auction. I don't have anything to do with what other people are saying. I'm just bidding. I haven't said anything to any of these people. I'm just bidding on a thing. Well, I ended up winning it, but the experience was so negative that I couldn't really enjoy the wind, but I don't really want to sell that. But it was pretty expensive. And then the person that I was bidding against um, wanted to pay for it and give it to me, and I said no, I don't want that. I bid because I had the money to buy it. I don't want, I don't want anything like that tied to it. So he had paid for it, and I ended up telling the channel because I paid for it too, and just it ended up causing a lot of problems. And so now I can't really enjoy that collection, but it's a beautiful. I don't usually buy like packaged collections, except I do like mint sets, but this one is pretty cool. And I bought it because I want to put it with my dad's. I want to build a shadow box and put it with my dad's military medals. And then I'm going to give it to my nephew. I know my brother really wants me to give it to his daughter, but because she is married to a guy that's in the Army, but I have had it in my head for ever since I was finally able to get my dad's medals that I was going to give them to my nephew. And then if he wants to pass them on to his cousin later on, he can do that. But my nephew was also in the Army, and so what I've decided I'm going to do is photograph all the medals. I mean, my dad won the Bronze Star, and he was actually, I have paperwork that indicates that they had recommended that he be put in for the Congressional Medal of Honor. And before that could be done, his commanding officer was killed in action. And so that never happened. But I do have paperwork, and I have a letter from his commanding officer's wife where the commanding officer described my dad as the fightingest man in the U.S. Army. And I'll tell you, my dad liked to fight. he was full of rage. Yeah, yeah, I did too, Paula. A lot of secondhand stuff. I learned how to sew when I was very young, so I made a lot of my clothes. My mom taught us. Whoop, there's Mr. Lincoln. We got a few of them. Put him up there. Yeah, my mom made my clothes until I was about 6, and then she got a regular job and didn't really have time. She still made clothes for us sometimes. I have this one photograph of my brother and my sister and I, and we look like somebody pulled us out of the rag bag. And I know my mom probably made some of those clothes. But yeah, I mean, my socks didn't have any elastic in them, and they're hanging around my ankles, because, yeah, we were poor. I'll see if I can find that picture and share that with y'all sometime. It was pretty bad. My brother was wearing these pants, the most ill-fitting pants you ever saw, and my sister was wearing what I think was probably one of my brother's hand-me-down shirts. It was pretty weak. we was po. Like I said, though, we didn't realize it really until we'd been in school down there a couple of years. Because when Mom was making our clothes, we pretty much looked like all the other kids, except with bad shoes. But we went to school with a lot of rich kids. And so once mom wasn't making the clothes anymore and we were getting them from the thrift store and whatever, it was really obvious that we didn't have any money, and we got bullied. We got bullied all the way through. And it was because it was obvious how poor we were. I failed. I failed physical education, not because I couldn't do the stuff, but because I didn't have money to buy the gym suit and the sneakers. And so they failed me because I didn't, what they call, dress out for PE. And the teacher came over to our house, and my dad and this teacher got into it. And but part of that was my dad. My dad just didn't. First of all, my dad didn't believe in educating girls. He just thought that was a waste of money. Girls were supposed to just get married and have kids. And so he didn't see any reason to spend money on things like that. And he just didn't get it. I don't know how to explain it, but he just didn't understand that we were getting bullied constantly because we didn't have clothes and we didn't have shoes, and because of his absurd, oops, I didn't go there. In fact, the reason I run that Susie Smart doll advertisement at the beginning of my show is that was a toy I really wanted. I loved the idea that it promoted educating girls. And my dad absolutely would not allow me to have that doll. And that was the only toy that I ever really asked for up until that point. And they had them. My mom worked in a grocery store, and they had that doll at the store, and I wanted it. And my dad would not let me have it. Mom got it for me. I don't know how she got. Of course, she got an employee discount too. She actually got the doll, and my dad made her take it back. But it was something that I really wanted, and that's why I run that ad. It's just a way of me turning back the clock and trying to promote the idea that girls do have a right to be educated. But we still haven't been able to find out what all 12 things that Susie Smart said. I know there was, we found, I think, 6 of them so far. There's very little information about that doll, even online. But that's why I run that, in case anybody wants to know. That's just something from my past. I'm picking out shields on the next roll here. Getting them out of the way. I don't see any Wheaties, but I'm not really looking for Wheaties. Right. All right. Get them out of there. Next. I might actually finish this box. I've been going for a while now. I think I went on about 7:30. Christopher! Hi, Chris! How you doing, honey? Happy to see you. Yeah, when I can finally get the new computer going, we will be able to improve the channel. Yeah, Christopher, my brother bought me a new computer for my birthday. It got here yesterday and I didn't know it was coming. I'm so excited because we've been fighting with this one for months and months now. But anyway, the new one has all the bells and whistles, and we should be able to start running instead of running StreamYard, which I appreciate StreamYard, but there's a lot of things I can't do with StreamYard. Like I can't have the games, and I can't do all the switching back and forth from the cameras. You can do it with StreamYard, but it's not easy, and it costs. You have to pay more money to do some of the functions. So I should be able to run the OBS system with the new computer, which would allow us to have the in-stream games and all of that, all the bells and whistles that go with it. So, but it's going to take quite a while for me to get all my stuff moved over, but we will be able to maybe not have so many technical difficulties. Back when I bought my laptop, it was supposed to be, able to run all that stuff, and it didn't. In fact, after 5 minutes or so, it would quit broadcasting the sound. So that didn't pan. Ooh, a 70S. So I've got a 68S, a 69S, a 70S, and my favorite S. Oops, that's not it. Oh, got that out of the wrong row. My favorite S. Huh? Where did I put it? Doggone it. I think it was a 40. Yeah, there's a 69. Oh, there's my 1919. I've been looking for that. I got to get these organized again. There's the 68. That's a Lincoln. I can't find my S. Oh, it's because it's with the Wheaties. Yeah, my 1940 S. So I got 40 in the S's. I got a 40, a 68, a 69, and a 70. So we're doing pretty good on the S's. Pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Wheaties. Not the best Wheatie haul on a box, but I've had worse. I'm determined to finish this box. But I am getting tired, so I may, as much as I'd like to finish it, I may have to take a break and come back and do the last 5, 6 rolls. Because I am starting to fade fast. 64. Yep. Oops. Oh, that one's on the floor behind the desk. I got cute, tried to throw it in the container, and bounced it off the rim. Oh. Okay, I got 2 rolled rolls and about 1.5 of loose pennies. Because I dropped the box and I broke open 2 rolls, some of which are still under my desk. So I don't think I have 2 full rolls of loose pennies, but it's more than 1. So we get these loose ones out, work on them. Get the nasty shield penny out of there. Alright, what we got? Just 3 p.m. A week of work ended up being 5 days instead of 7. Morning, Ross. How you doing, honey? Glad to see you. We're finishing up that box of pennies that's been around here since Thanksgiving. Just want to get them done. We may have another one of those how many pennies are in the container contests. I haven't decided yet. Or we may have a variation of that. Just haven't decided. Ooh, that's dark and dingy. Got a lot of stuff to do today. I can't believe the sun is out right now, but it's not going to last. They said by noon it's going to be raining again. And then it's not going to stop till tomorrow. So, ooh, that's a pretty 65. Still got a little glow on it. I set those aside just so I can look in my album and see what the quality of the one in the album is, and if I get better ones, I update my album a little bit. Albums, I have more than one penny set. My friend Tommy, when he passed away, I got his little stack of pennies, and I've been trying to finish his book. And then I have the set that I started when I was a teenager and I worked in a grocery store, and that set disappeared for many years. I found it at my mother's house in her bathroom linen closet way in the back. And I didn't even live in that house when I was a kid, so I have no idea how it got over there, but Mom had it stashed away. So I got that back, which was cool because it also had my very first Indian head was stuck in with my Lincolns because I didn't have an Indian head book to put it in. So the whole rest of my coin collection was stolen by a girl who had a drug problem and took it while I was at school and sold it for face value, or anyway, she traded it away for drugs. She's deceased now, and not too long ago I actually ran across one of her cousins, or actually her cousin found me and wanted to talk about this young lady, and I was a little leery, and I just told her, I said, look, your cousin was not one of my favorite people, and told her what I had done. Okay, I will love and harass y'all later. Happy Saturday. All right, Paula, thank you. We love you too. So anyway, as it turned out, this lady that had gotten a hold of me knew all the dirty secrets about her cousin, knew that she was a drug addict and so forth. But we had an interesting discussion about her cousin and their family, people that I grew up with. But after a while, I just told her, well, I really don't want to talk about this lady anymore, because it was, it still kind of made me mad that she stole my coin collection, and she had also stolen the money that a bar had collected to buy a grave marker for somebody. And I thought, man, you gotta have a really bad problem if you're stealing money for a dead man's tombstone to buy your drugs with. I was just floored that anybody would even entertain the thought of doing that. But this girl had no morals, I guess. Give away 2 grams of silver on you. Oh, this was a long time ago, Arnie. It was a girl that I knew back when I was in college that had a drug problem, and she stole most of my original coin collection to buy dope with. So you're telling me you have 2 grams of silver and you want me to give it away. Is that correct? How are we going to do that? Give it away and have them contact you to send it to you? Or is it something I have here that I'm holding for you? I don't remember what you won. No, I don't have it, so you must have it. Because I got 2 pennies and a quarter here for you that haven't gone out yet. All right, let me put that back before I lose anything out of there. Okay. All right. I guess, let me open the Nightbot here. I mean, it's open. I just got to make sure it's recording who's here. If you have not posted anything, yeah, I'm going to have to reset the Nightbot. Hang on. Let me get the Nightbot chugging. All right. If you would like the opportunity to win 2 grams of silver from Arnie C, you need to post something in the stream so that your name gets on well, it says 7 on my screen. It says there's 7 people right now. Right now, it's only picked up, I guess we can take Arnie off the list. So James Eller is on the list. I'm going to let it run for about 15 minutes, Arnie, while I finish up these last couple rolls of pennies. It doesn't count me. So, anyway, while I finish these last 2 rolls, now it says there's 8 people. So, while I finish these last 2.5 rolls of pennies, we will do it. By then, somebody will have said, hey, they're giving away silver over there, and a bunch of people will show up. See, Mikey woke up. He heard somebody say silver, and there he is. Hey, Mikey. Yeah, I accidentally broke 2 rolls of pennies when I dropped the box. So I'm trying to finish these loose ones, and then I have 2 more rolls. And then the box will finally be done. And then we will do that Arnie's giveaway as an end of stream. So, well, my screen says 7. So, and mine's see, I'm on the StreamYard stream and you're on the YouTube stream. And sometimes YouTube is a little bit behind. Yep, there's Jackalope. He was lurking. There's Mikey. Leanne, I knew was in the background. So, yeah, while I go through these, everybody can get themselves in line, make sure that they're listed on my Nightbot. And for those of you who just came in, who have been patiently dealing with my channel. Yeah, that's right. Arnie Silver brings all the girls to the yard. That's a whole different milkshake there, baby. Anyway, for those who just got here, we got a gift to the channel yesterday. Well, it's a gift to me, but it's going to help the channel. From my brother, who bought me a new computer. Yes, folks, we're getting mo power, as Tim Allen used to say. We're getting more power. We got a brand new computer showed up at my door yesterday from my brother for my birthday. So once I can get everything moved over onto the new one, it should alleviate a bunch of these problems. We also should be able to run the OBS system instead of StreamYard, which means we'll be able to have the in-stream games and a lot of other groovy things. Yeah, my brother does rule. He doesn't buy me just random stuff. He buys things if he thinks that it's something that I need. And the other fight I've been having with this computer is I have to do online things with my doctors. And half the time we'll be partway through a consult and it'll just lock up and it doesn't want to stream. And it's not my internet. We've checked, it's the computer. The computer is old. It is tired. It doesn't have enough RAM. It doesn't have enough. It's just done. It's old. And my brother took pity on me and has sent me a new computer. I've got to go through everything that's on this one and make sure, run all the stuff and make sure we're not transferring anything with any viruses or anything like that. But yeah, it's gonna be a major help, not just for this, but also for the medical stuff. So yes, my brother does love me, and I love my brother. He's a good boy. He's a lot older than me, older and wiser. But he also has some of the same health issues I do. So he knows, he knows what I have to do. And if he sees that there is something that he can provide that makes my quality of life better, and it's something he can afford to do, he does it. And I had no idea that this computer was coming. So yesterday afternoon, I was taking a nap, and he called and woke me up and said, "Is there a package outside your door?" Because he got the notification that it had been delivered. And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know." And he's like, "Well, you better go look." So I did, and I reached down to pick it up thinking it was, something relatively lightweight, and I could hardly pick it up. And I'm like, "What in the world have you done?" And so it's a new pewter. So this afternoon, I'm going to make sure all the virus things are updated on this computer and run all the diagnostics to make sure everything on here is clean before we move anything to the new unit. And while all those things are running, I got to look for some kitty cat charms for Mikey's mom. So I'll be able to rest and just sit there and look through the kitty charms. So, but I made my goal to finish this box of pennies this weekend. I've been trying to finish it for the longest time, and we are down to 2 rolls. Having fried eggs and sausage. See, I don't understand you, Mikey. You eat sausage, but you don't eat bacon. You are a weird dude. You're a weird dude. Okay, let's see who Nightbot has picked up so far. Archaeology Mikey, Christopher Ty, Jackalope, Leanne, Mike the Greek. Hi, Mike. I didn't see you sneak in. And the Lucky James Eller so far. I still got 2 more rolls to go through. So tell your friends Arnie's giving away 2 grams of silver. Yeah, Doug's not here. I thought about that too. Last stream, Doug Harding won everything. Well, technically, Mike the Greek won one of them, the first one, and he gave it to Doug, and then everything after that, Doug won. So, yeah, sausage is just bacon bits. Who said that? Artie. That's about right. It's all from the same animal. All from the same critter. which reminds me, I did spend some money out of my birthday money. I ordered some charms. Because I found some ducks that look just like the ducks in the duck race. And I ordered some pigs for all you baconators out there. Because they were not very expensive. And somebody asked about pigs. But the ducks, I saw the ducks and I was like, oh my goodness, they look just like the little rubber duckies in the duck race. So, see, I have coming up pretty soon, next month, our farmer's market will open again. And I go down there and sell jewelry. And so I will be going down there and selling my critter jewelry. And I had people last year asking about pigs and ducks. So, in order to be able to get that jewelry ready for next month, I went ahead and ordered just a few. And then if they don't sell, I don't have a whole bunch of money wrapped up in them. I got to empty the trash here. I don't know if you guys remember my container to put my coins in, are little trash cans, little plastic trash cans that I found at the Dollar Tree. And I have different colors for different denominations. That's the second time I've had to dump it today, so I've been looking at these pennies for a while. We're down to the last 2 rolls. I'm gonna finish it, by golly. Oh, Wheatie! Wheatie! Got us a Wheatie. Woohoo! Bacon his young pork. Wilbur! Oh, thanks, Arnie. That's a good idea. Yep, we're up to 9 peoples. Somebody new got on the list. Not sure who, but that's... Let's see what the Wheatie is. Yeah, well, everybody does the duck races. You know, a lot of people. I've been doing them for a long, long time. The first person I saw doing them was Liz on Digging Canuck from up in Canada. Picked up some platinum by accident. Bought 1 gram at the local coin shop, and 2 were platinum. You know, it's funny, Mike. I've been going through all my jewelry making stuff. It's not, though, Arnie. It's just the lighting. I've been going through all my jewelry making stuff and giving some of it to the kids. It's a 42, but it's copper. It's not steel. There's a 1942 Wheatie. No mint mark. Anyway, I was going through this. It's like a tackle box of all kinds of jewelry findings, the pieces, parts of metal that you use to put jewelry together. And I found an unopened pack of platinum earring hook wires that I didn't even know I had in there. Now, I knew I had sterling silver, but I didn't know those platinum ones were in there. And then I found some rose gold ones, and I forgot I even had some of this stuff. It was purchased. Oh, and several other packs of assorted silver things. Um, when I lived in Florida, we had a craft store there that went out of business, and I actually borrowed some money from a friend and said, "Look, I want to run over to this place and grab as much of this stuff as I can because they've got it marked down like way, way down." And I was able to get like these $10 packs of earring wires that were like silver ones, and I guess I got those platinum at the same time, but I was able to get them like really, really cheap. And they've been sitting in this box all this time, and I found them the other day. Tiffany Twisted, where you been, child? Haven't seen you forever. We are on the last 2 rolls of this penny box. I have been going through it, what was left of it, since about 7:30 this morning. When we get to the end, Arnie has put 2 grams of silver up for a giveaway. And in order to be in that giveaway, you're going to need to post something in the stream so you have a chance to win. And then you will have to get with Arnie and give Arnie your address, because I don't have those grams here. They are at Arnie's house. He was just kind enough to put them up for a giveaway. M3 is good. He's a little stinker. He's got a lot of new videos up. He's keeping my shorts section busy. He makes his own videos now because he's a star and he knows it. He's a stinker and he knows it too. Last night he trying to con me out of extra treaters since I stayed up late, and he figured he was supposed to get his 7 o'clock treaters, and then he was supposed to get more treaters because I went to bed. Well, I didn't want to give him any more treaters, but he decided that he was going to keep nipping at my feet and pulling my blankets off until I did. So I had to get up and give the little stinker some extra treats so he'd let me go to sleep. Well, then he decided Mama needed lick. He likes to come, I don't know why, but he likes to come and lick my hand or my elbow. So about 4 o'clock this morning, he decided I needed to get up. And then I couldn't go back to sleep. Now, I was going to sleep in today. But no, I didn't get to sleep in because Emma woke Mama up. So I made him wait till about 7 and gave him his treaters, and now he's back in bed asleep. Me, on the other hand, I've been out here sorting pennies since 7:30. This is the next to the last roll. I'm almost done. And then we'll see how many people. It says there's 10 in the stream, but I haven't looked to see how many have actually posted. We've got 8 in the contest. I'm going to read off the names. Oh, I didn't see MJ Squirrel. Hi, Squirrel. I got Archaeology Mikey, Christopher Ty, Jackalope, Leanne, Mike the Greek, MJ Squirrel, and Tiffany Twisted. If I did not read your name and you're not Arnie, then you need to post so that you have a chance to win Arnie's little secret stash of a couple of little grams of silver he's got hanging out that he's decided he's going to give away to somebody in my channel today. And I appreciate that so much. I do. All right, we got one roll left. One lonely little roll that's going to make the final tally on our box. And I'll have to finish the final tally later because I got to get the scale out to weigh the copper, but I can give you a partial tally on the Wheaties, and I can give you a tally on the Canadians right now. There was only one, and actually Arnie got to get whatever was in a roll I opened the other night, and he got a 1950 Wheatie and a 77 Canadian. So I wrote them down so I didn't forget to put them in the final tally. So let's see what's in the last roll. I'm not even going to pick out the shield. I will tell you, there has been so much copper in this box. I don't think I've ever had a box with this much copper in it. My little copper hopper jug that I use is almost half full. And I don't think I've ever had it that full before. So, interesting balance on this box. And we found a 1940S, a 68S, a 69S, and a 70S. And then a number of Wheaties. Not as many as I would have liked, but a good assortment. Yeah, Mikey had eggs and sausage and something else. Yeah, MJ, that's how I started collecting coins when I was in high school. I was a cashier at Winn-Dixie. I started working there when I was 15 and worked there until I graduated from high school. And that was how I started collecting coins. My boss would let me buy coins out of my till. Most of those got stolen by a drug addict, but I did manage. My mom somehow had my penny books, so I still have my original penny books from my high school days. But yeah, I used to have some really cool coins. Of course, this was in the 60s, so there were still a lot of Wheaties and some Indian heads and that kind of stuff, and silver quarters that came in, regularly. So I had a really good collection. But when I was in college, I had them, and a girl that I knew had a drug problem, and she was friends with my roommate. And while I was off at school, at college one day, she got my coin collection and probably just got face value for it. Because yeah. But anyway, I do still have the pennies. the penny books. And that one book, the only penny that was missing in it was a 1968 S, and I found one in this box. So after decades, I will be able to finish that one album. So I was real happy about that 68S. So, but yeah, uh, I have a few quarters, and my first Indian head penny that I ever had was in with my Lincoln pennies. I had just stuck it in one of the extra slots. So my very first Indian head I still have, that came out of my till at the Winn-Dixie. And I have a couple of V nickels that came out of there. Like I said, I used to have a lot more, but somebody helped themselves to them. And a couple of Benjis. I have a 1953 Benji that came out of my till, and I had saved that separately because that was my birth year. And so I had it it was in my jewelry box, so the thief did not get that. I don't know what I need. I've got to go back through my books again. Oh, MJ, the two things I really can't stand are people that lie and people that steal. And I grew up poor. So when somebody stole from us and we were already poor, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Can't you? If I wanted something, I went and earned the money for it, or found a way to get the money honestly. I can't stand it when somebody steals, especially if they steal from disabled people and old people. I just want to scream. And it's usually some entitled little turd, either that or a drug addict. And now this girl that stole my coin collection also stole the money for a guy's grave marker. This girl was from an extremely wealthy family. When her parents died, she inherited a business, she inherited a big fancy condo, and she pissed all that money away in a couple of years. Lost the business, lost everything because she had a drug habit. Well, last penny is deposited. We are done with the box. Oh my goodness. Oh no. I just did a dumb thing. I just dumped the wrong container into the box. So now I'm going to have to go back through this last box and get all the copper back out of it. But I'm not doing it right now. I meant to grab the trash can and I grabbed the copper hopper. Dummy! Oh, I'm a dummy. Oh, okay, let's see what we got on the yeah, right, Suze. Straighten your brain out. Let's see what we got on the Wheaties. Get my pen, write them down. I'll have to retally the copper a little bit later. Oh, where's my pen? My brother, when he got this computer, he knew he had it when he was talking to me about the problems I was having with the current one. And I couldn't figure out why he asked me what size monitor I was using. But he knows that my whole work area is pretty small. And I have a bigger monitor down in my storage, but there's no room for it where I'm at. So I told him, and the reason he wanted to know is because these computers, instead of standing up like a tower, they actually sit flat on the desk. And he wanted to make sure that I was in scale, that I'd be able to put my monitor on top of that. So the tower that he got me is actually a little bit smaller than the one I have now, but it's got, for one thing, this one doesn't have all the USB ports and everything that the new one does. So, yeah. All right. Okay, let's see what we got here. Something just fell on the floor. Oh, I had a penny in my lap. An escapee in the trash. All right, let's see what we got. Make our list. We got in the weedy department a 1942. And I'm going to write this next one down. I can't show it to you because it's in Arnie's envelope because he won it the other night. It was a 1950. So here's the 42, and Arnie's got the 50 in his envelope. And then this is the oldest coin in the box, a 1919 Wheatie that I found when I was not live streaming, but I do believe I was recording. So that's the oldest one that we got. And then we got 47D. This is the wrap up on the partial wrap up on the box. This is the weedy portion. We got 1945. That one's a little rough. What you think about it? These things have been. This penny could have been walking around in some guy's pocket during World War II. It's pretty old, and it's still got some pretty decent detail on the back. The reverse look pretty good. As soon as I get done with this, we will be doing the drawing for the 2 grams. Oops, that's in the wrong shoot there. Okay. We'll be doing the drawing for the 2 grams of silver that Arnie is giving away to someone in my stream this morning. Let's see what else we got here. This one's kind of chewed around the edges, as you can see. Another 1945. There's a 55D. Yeah, we're going to do, bye, Tiff. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Monday, we're going to actually craft project on the Lodo show that might actually be a big help to a lot of people in the channel, and it's going to cost less than $3 to make. I think everybody's going to go, wow, why didn't we think of that before? Okay, we got a 1941. Yeah, and the craft project isn't going to take very long, but I think it's going to be very helpful. And we got a 56D. Some of these are pretty weak, but they're still weeds. Still weeds. Yeah, even though people have left, if they got on this list on the Nightbot, having posted in the last 15 minutes, they will still be eligible to win. So that means Tiff's still in the drawing. There's a 50D. Dee, dee, dee. I think now I'm about to get into one more. 1940S. I'm real happy about that one. I mean, it's not a super expensive coin, but I just don't get a lot of S's. So that was a pretty cool find. Look at the reverse of this. It's really odd. And we ended up with 4 S's. This is the oldest of them, the 40S. So we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 Wheaties. We got 1 Canadian, 1977 penny. And that's the only foreign coin we got. Let's look at we got a 1968S. Which I needed for my album, so I'm very, very happy about that. We got a 1969S. Yeah, the crap high spots, yeah. Like I said, it's an odd looking. Okay, so that's our. Then we got. Oops. That one just. Oh, that belongs in the Lincolns. I got over there. And we got a 70S. So we got 4 S's. Then we got some of the Lincoln Life series. That one, that's a shame. Most of it looks really good, but his face is obliterated. And the other side's got a weird. So that's a shame. This one's a little bit better. Another part of that series. And another part of that series. So that's 4 of those. And we got a whole bunch of 82s and 83s that I have to look at to determine what they're made from, and large date, small date, all of that copper, zinc, bunch of stuff. And then I've got just some miscellaneous ones that I laid aside to look and see if they are better than what's in any of my albums. Oh, and then there was this one. This is falls under miscellaneous. Somebody wrote on this one with a silver marker, and initially I thought it said 77, but then when I look at it and hold it like that, somebody wrote 27 on this 1974 penny. I don't know why, but they did. Don't know why they did that. Anyway, I've got about 15 other ones that I just set aside to compare. So the only other thing we have to do is weigh the copper and see how much copper. But I spilled some of it into the last container of rejects. So I got to pull the copper back out to get an official weight. But that's how we did on this box that has been here forever and ever. Oh, and then there were also a bunch of 68s that got pulled out because I have somebody collecting 68. So that was the final tally. The oldest Wheatie was the 1919. We ended up with 12 Wheaties, 1 Canadian, 4 S pennies, one of which was a Wheatie, and 4 Lincoln Life series. So that's how the box turned out. I don't know, Scratch. Yeah, upside down it's LS. Didn't think of it that way. But I held it right side up. All right, let's see how many people the Nightbot has picked up for the end of stream drawing, kindly donated by Arnie, who is giving away 2 grams of silver. Now you will have to get with Arnie. Oh no, it wiped all the names out. Oh man. So we're going to have to start it over. I'm going to put Tiffany back in if I can, because I said I would. So if you want a chance to win it, post in the chat. I don't know why it's just this whole computer's. I'll be glad when I get the new one set up. I'm so excited. I've never seen the people with the OBS system have this problem. I've seen them have other problems, but we'll see. Well, what I'm going to do, since I can't put Tiff back in, Arnie, I'm going to leave your name on the list, and if it picks you, that's Tiffany. Because I can't figure out how to put her back in. So that's how that's going to work. So right now I've got 13 in the room, but only 6 are on here. So let me read who they are. If you don't hear your name. Oh, well, I didn't know Mike was. I didn't see that. Anyway, if you don't hear your name, uh, then you need to post something to win. Archaeology Mikey, uh, I'm taking Arnie out, and since Mike the Greek has said he's going to give his to Tiffany. So Mike the Tiffany. Oh, Carla. Carla got here just in time. Carla Ainsworth's in the house. MJ Squirrel, Scratch and Go Crazy, Lucky James Eller, Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo, Jackalope. So we're up to 8. There's 5 people that are, well, 4, because one of them's Arnie. So there's 4 people. I'm going to give you a quick chance to get on here, and then you're going to have to go to Arnie C's page in his About section and get his email, or he can post it. There's Christopher. And arrange with him to collect your prize, because I do not have it here. Let me emphasize that. I do not have it here. There's Leanne. So now we're up to 10. All right, I'll wait one more minute. And then in that minute, I'm going to screen up here so everybody can see what's happening. Got nothing up my sleeve because I don't have any sleeves. Oh, somebody asked me the other night why I have not been coming on screen, showing my. Well, for a while it was because all my hair fell out. And a couple times I came on with my wigs, but it takes like an hour for me to put a wig on. And I just didn't, it's just so time consuming, and it's hot. And now my hair has grown out some, but I have a lot of bruises because I'm on blood thinners, and I look like somebody beat the crap out of me, truthfully. And it makes my poor niece absolutely nauseous when she sees it. And I don't want to freak people out by how I look. But then I had somebody tell me, well, you know what? Maybe if you come on and people see how you look, they'll quit with that she's not really sick crap. So I'm going to warn you in advance. Monday night, I'm going to make an effort to come online. Some of you that have been on my channel for a long time are not going to even recognize me. I will tell you that. I look that much different. But at this point, I'm happy my hair has grown back in. But I think I did come on once when it first fell out and I dyed it. They cut it all off except my bangs and stuff. I had a little bit on the front, and we dyed it. It was supposed to be orange and it turned pink. And Big Flip and I were laughing because he had done his pink at that time. And then I went back, and because it was supposed to be orange, and I had it orange. And then I came on with the short wig, and then I came on with the long wig, and then I haven't been back on live since. But we're gonna probably do that just because I've had requests for people wanting to see my smiling face and wanting to see M3. And if I'm not on camera, then M3 can't be on camera. So the only way to do that is to come on so everybody can see Mr. M. All right, we are going to do this thing. I got the screen up there. That's as big as I can make it. And person turquoise waving. Okay. I got a beat with that stick. Yeah, right. Uh, well, I've just had, I've had this problem with bullies for a couple years saying that I'm not really sick and that the reason that I'm not coming on camera is because I don't want people to know that I'm not really sick. And I'm like, that is what is sick, you know? I mean, I've been busting butt here for 2 years trying to get to where I need to go for medical treatment, and I got people saying I'm not sick. So I'm going to show you the real deal. I probably won't even put my wig on, but I might. I might put my wig on and then take it off. Who knows? All right. Now, the way this one works, it doesn't scroll through a bunch of names. It just picks somebody right off the bat. And Mike, you are correct. Most autoimmune disorders don't show on the outside. The reason that mine do, at least 2 of them, is because I have to take the steroids and the blood thinners. And the combination of those 2 medications together cause very easy bruising and skin tears. I have currently on my arms right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bandaged wounds because my skin is so thin from the blood thinners. The other thing that I have that shows is a rare form of psoriasis. So, yeah, if people would educate themselves exactly. I have 11 autoimmune disorders. 11. The outward appearance of 3 of them are the psoriasis, the side effect of the blood thinners and steroids, and the beginning of the rheumatoid arthritis, which twists your joints. I have 3 forms of arthritis. I have psoriatic arthritis, osteoarthritis, and rheumatoid arthritis. I got the grand slam. but you're right, they don't show. Plus, I also had that pulmonary embolism. I have AFib. I have a lot of things you can't see. But by golly, they're there and they will knock me on my butt. I'll have days where I'm up and I'm, yay, like today, I'm having a great day. Yesterday, I could hardly do anything. I laid on the couch and watched YouTube videos while somebody else was here doing my housework because I couldn't do it. It changes from day to day. But anyway, somebody had made that comment, and I'm like, okay, you want me to gross you out? I can do that. But on another note, let's give away Arnie's silver. We got some folks in here wanting some silver. We gonna punch this button, and somebody gonna get some. Uno, a dos, a 1, 2, 3, cuatro. Scratch and go crazy. You need to get with Arnie C and collect your prize from Arnie. Congratulations, Scratchy. I know you're here. Scratchy, who always says, I never win in your channel. And then he says, rigged. Oh, Arnie. get with Scratch. Scratch, get with Arnie. I don't want to hear any complaints later that somebody didn't get a prize from me. That happened once, and that's why I hardly ever do those giving it away from another channel, because it turned into a great big pile of poo. Yeah, Mikey, where's your pink poo? All righty. So, congratulations, Scratch. That was a nice win. Oh, Ann got here too late. I don't know if you guys know, but I got to meet Miss Ann's Arts and Crafts not too long ago. She happened to be visiting in my area, and at that time I was not able to drive or go anywhere, and she brought me Taco Bell. And we had a wonderful visit. It was great. I hope she comes back soon. Oh, Ann, did you ever find your detector? Ann couldn't find her metal detector. And I mentioned something, and she said, man, maybe that's where my detector is. So I hope she found her detector. No? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought maybe it was with your gold pen and stuff. Yeah, Scratch is still on his, but I never win. He started that right after he won the grand prize in the 12 Days of Christmas a couple of years back. I'm so sorry, Ann. I hate that for you. Somehow Ann's metal detector grew legs and walked away. And that's upsetting. So anyway, we just finished wrapping up that penny box that's been around forever. And the oldest one we got 12 Wheaties, and the oldest one was 1919. And so anyway, my brother sent me a new computer, so we won't be struggling with this old piece of junk for too much longer. So I'm gonna go now and start running all these diagnostic things to make sure we don't transfer any cooties over to the new one. So I'm going to off computer probably for a while while I work on that. I got to work on Archaeology Mikey's mom's jewelry, see if I have the charms to make what she's interested in. So I probably won't be back online today unless I'm on my phone, because I got to start running all this stuff to make sure we don't pollute the new computer. But we will, I'll be back. Like I said, it's going to take some work to get the new computer up and running. First thing I got to do is get it another little table set up out here, because I only have one monitor here, and I'm going to have to keep plugging things from one to the other. Or I can take the new one into the bedroom, because I do have a hard wire going into there. But when it's all done, we'll be able to do some better stuff, and we won't have all these lockups and craziness. So I want to thank everybody. I've been on here since 7:30 this morning, so I'm done. Stick a fork in her. She is done. All right, M3's still snoring in the bedroom. Thank you. And thank you, Arnie, so much for coming in and giving away something in my channel. That was really awesome. Mwah. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon, Lee. Bye-bye.